Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of the Blackbird Grimoire. Welcome back to the daily forecast for Thursday, April 25th, 2024. Happy Jupiter's Day to you. We are in the Taurus season. We are in the Celtic tree month of Willow. And joy of joys, today Mercury goes direct. Woohoo! It is coming to an end. Now, it might be a pretty jagged end, but at the very least, we'll start getting back into the more normal flow. And of course, we are in a waning moon. So let's get into the details of today's astrology since we have something to look forward to. The sun is in Taurus, fixed earth, representing practicality. The moon begins in third quarter Scorpio, fixed water, representing self-confidence. Then at 6:17 p.m. Central Time, it goes void of course. And at 8:37 p.m. Central Time, it will enter third quarter Sagittarius, mutable fire, representing optimism. So that's going to be quite the mood shift. Then Mercury, of course, we are beginning the day at retrograde Aries, cardinal fire with fiery tempers. But then at 7:54 a.m. Central Time, it goes direct. It will still be in Aries, of course, which is cardinal fire, but it will go from fiery tempers to just general alertness. So, relief. We're almost there, gang. It happens today. Venus is in Aries, cardinal fire sign, representing being impulsive. Mars is in Pisces, mutable water, representing curiosity. Jupiter is in Taurus, fixed earth, representing practicality. Saturn is in Pisces, mutable water, representing nostalgia. Uranus is in Taurus, fixed earth, representing renovation. Neptune is in Pisces, mutable water, representing imagination. Pluto is in Aquarius, fixed air, representing reformation. So, for the last time until the next retrograde, for just a little bit longer, as long as you're watching this, before 7:54 a.m., remember to rethink, revise, redo. It's been an interesting one, hasn't it, gang? But going on, we are still in the waning gibbous moon, so release and gratitude, that's where we're at. So if there's something you don't need, whether it is, an item in your household, a relationship that's really gone south that you need to get some distance from, or, ideas in your head or certain practices, whatever it is that is not serving you, to go ahead, release it, let it go on its merry way. And of course, show gratitude for the blessings that you have received. For the Sagittarius moon, I know we're not getting into that until way later today, but just, to get into the right headspace for us, some of the do's are, converse, be philosophical, explore ideas, go hiking, get in the great outdoors, explore. Sagittarius loves exploring. But some things to don't do. Don't get trapped in cramped spaces. Don't give or take unsolicited advice. And don't get involved in bickering and pointless arguments. So it is time to breathe a very deep sigh of relief. Mercury is going direct, and that means it's no longer fighting against the slow but the steady progress of Jupiter in Taurus. So it's very possible that we'll feel a boost of momentum today. So put that to good use in your secular work, or in one of your hobbies, or some of your spiritual projects. Just whatever it is you are working towards, just make use of that boost when you feel it. Our tarot card for today is the Sun of Life. I mean, it's coming up roses today, isn't it, Ken? This particular card represents the creative fire, and I think that is certainly borne out by all of the imagery that is on that card. It's just, you can just feel the warmth and the heat from it. It's about illumination, whether it is, the literal illumination of the world, or the illumination of the soul, in the sense of enlightenment, if you are seeing something that you were not able to see before. The furnace of potential, there's a little bit of that energy of chaos within it, the energy that could be transmuted and used for a variety of purposes. That is that furnace of potential. The inner light, that your personal spirit, that which keeps you going. can represent the primordial pot of matter and energy, the heart of eternal life, the god in Wicca. There's a lot of stuff going into this card. So think about if any of these descriptions have really resonated with you, and then hone in on that today. Think about it when you see an opportunity in your day to make use of that kind of energy. Go for it with full gusto. I mean, it really does feel like, full speed ahead right now. Now for our Celtic triad today. It reads, three things which the quarrelsome will gain: strife, shame, and neglect in their necessity. So people who are quarrelsome, they fight for the sake of it. They are creating needless and pointless controversy, and generally bringing the tone and the atmosphere down. Now, eventually, the people around them, they are going to tire of the combative person, and they. By consequence, the combative person will lose respect, their status, their friendship in people, just because they're just a misery to be around. And really, who wants to employ or do business with a person who is determined to be difficult? That's where the neglect and their necessity becomes. When people are saying, yeah, don't really want to do business with you in any capacity, that means you're not going to have as much money coming in, if any at all. And of course, that results in hardship and poverty. So being needlessly combative for the sake of it, not a good thing. Not a good thing. Our ancestors would not approve. So today's magical intention is adaptability. The color is green. The plant is the weeping willow, my favorite tree, by the way. The animal is the chameleon, and the crystal is chrysoprase. So are you able to adjust when adjustment is required? And, today we have a lot of adjustments. We have a big shift in the moon. We have a big shift in Mercury. So we're going to have opportunities to change things up a little bit. So taking advantage of that, when the energy is flowing in that direction, that's very much to our advantage. So, are you willing to do that for yourself? Our daily practice for today: give the house brownie some love. I have really felt an overwhelming impulse to make weekly mention of the house brownie. I feel like keeping the spiritual center of our home in better balance and better shape. It feels like a good thing to be doing right now. On that vein, tidy any troublesome spots in the home. If you've listened to any of my discussions about magical housekeeping, you'll know that I have made frequent mention that cluttered areas, untidy areas that aren't necessarily the cleanest they could possibly be, this creates a lot of stagnant energy. And that stagnant energy, when it builds up, that starts creating ill feeling. And, obviously that's not what you want to have in the home. So, I'm not going to say that I enjoy the process of cleaning. I enjoy the results. The results are great. But sometimes it's necessary to do just kind of the mundane and the boring and the dull and the routine in order to make sure that things stay very functional, things stay very fresh, so that you don't have energy sticking around that isn't going to do your household any good. And speaking of the energy, you might decide to burn some jasmine incense to help lighten the mood today. Another project you might take on is adding magical notation to one of your favorite recipes. I am particularly for my witches out there. It is so much easier if you have, a magical notation of, certain associations that ingredients in a recipe have, and different ideas about how you might utilize those energies in a cohesive way. That is so much easier than looking at your recipe and then, while you're in the process of cooking, going through your notes, making sure that, these things, this ingredient corresponds with that intention and everything else. If you just have it in front of you, you can engage in magical cooking so much more often. That can benefit yourself, benefit the household, all very good. And, this is one of those things where a little bit of preparation every now and then, it goes a very long way. So just consider it. Just consider it. And then pamper your pets. Do a little bit of nurturing for our furry companions. Next up, our fae of the day is the Kelpie, which is the horse fish of Celtic lore. Now, for our journal prompt, it asks the question of: what do you fear has the ability to entice you and then carry you down and drown you, which is what, the Kelpie are kind of known for. Whatever this fear of yours is it something that can be faced or otherwise conquered? Is it something you've learned to live with? Just explore the nature of this fear and see, is this something that is permanent? Is this something that you can do things to combat, to where you are able to handle the fear more effectively when it arises? Just to explore that a little bit, see where that takes you. And that's what I've got for you for today, gang. Come back tomorrow for another edition of the Daily Forecast. Let me know what you thought of this one in the comment section below, or shoot me an email at brigantiablackbird@protonmail.com. But that'll do it for today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.